All about sheer power and strength. It's only part of it, you know.
He's leaping up 2 divisions from 147 to fight a much bigger man. And that's what makes it a 50-50 fight, because I think all round,
he won't lose, he can't lose. He could fight Conor Benn 100 times, I believe, and beat him.
Eubank, I like both guys. So last time I said Ben, this time I'm going to say...
The first 6 rounds will belong to Conor Benn. He will not be able to keep Conor Benn off for 6 rounds. If he...
Potential for both fighters in a super fight being booed into the ring. It's never happened before. This will be the first time he's in there with a genuinely...
All about sheer power and strength. It's only part of it. You know, there's other things. Conor Benn is leaping up 2 division from 147 to fight a much bigger man. And that's what makes it a 50-50 fight, because I think all round Conor's the better fighter. He won't lose. He can't lose. He could fight Conor Benn 100 times, I believe, and beat him 100 times. Ben Eubank. I like both guys. So, last time I said Ben. This time I'm going to say a Eubank. The first 6 rounds will belong to Conor Benn. He will not be able to keep Conor Benn off for 6 rounds. If he is you have the potential for both fighters in a super fight being booed into the ring. It's never happened before. This will be the first time he's in there with a genuinely dangerous man. After a wild tension-filled press conference where Romero did everything he could to get under Ryan Garcia's skin, the tone for their upcoming May 2nd showdown has completely changed. Before this fight was just about another step back into the ring for Ryan after a year-long suspension. Now it's personal. Ryan says Rolly crossed a line, and he sees this fight not just as a comeback. He sees it as a full reset, a complete cleansing, a chance to knock Rolly out cold and leave no doubt about who he is now. You know, it's a mismatch. It's an entertaining matchup. Why is it a mismatch? Because of ability, because of weight classes. Chris Jr. is a middleweight and a super middleweight. You know, I am going to come in there and stick it on you from the get-go. Good. Straight away. I'm going to come out there hot, skipping a big right hand, a big flip of yours. I don't believe you. You don't believe me? Why would you believe it? I don't believe it. I think you're going to run for your life. Oh, shut up. Talk, __. In a recent interview with Fight Hype, Ryan Garcia wasn't shy about how he views the entire landscape ahead. Fresh off calling out unified IBF and WBA welterweight champion Jiren Bouts and Ennis, Ryan showed a sharp edge that fans hadn't seen in a while. He gave Bouts his flowers, acknowledging his talent, but didn't flinch when he said he doesn't think Ennis is truly a pound-for-pound fighter yet. And when asked if he would face Ennis in the future, Garcia's answer came without hesitation. Yes, 100%. Another big fight, another mega event. That's what I like to do. So, I don't shy away from anybody. That's the mentality he's bringing into May 2nd. No fear, no running, no hesitation. And after the way Rolly disrespected him in front of the world, Garcia's motivation has exploded tenfold. This whole thing is just getting on my nerves. To be honest, I ain't got nothing to say. There's no question you can ask me. Eubank, I can't wait to smash your head in April 26th. I can't wait to smash your head in. Mission, listen, I've heard enough of your voice talking, __. This whole time is again on Tuesday. Just shut your mouth. April 26th, you're getting your head smashed in. Oscar de la Hoya sees it the same way. In fact, he's expecting an early night. De la Hoya predicts that Ryan will blast through Rolly within 4 rounds, describing the matchup as a brutal mismatch between Ryan's sharp, explosive hands and Rolly's reckless aggression. I see him stronger and determined to make a statement, De La Hoya said, noting that Ryan's combination of power and speed should make short work of Romero, who is notorious for leaving himself wide open when he swings wildly. It wasn't even a fight that was on our radars. You know, I'm a 147, he's a 160 fighter, and our path just happens to cross. You talk about the stars of the line, you could say that. Raleigh has a puncher chance, sure, but against someone as fast and as sharp as Ryan Garcia, Oscar doesn't see it happening. And honestly, when you break it down, it's hard to argue. Raleigh's recent form hasn't been anything special. He's lost 2 of his last 4 fights, getting stopped by Gervonta Davis and dropped by Ismael Barroso. Even in the fights he won, he struggled against lower-tier competition. Music, now he's stepping into the ring against a fighter who is faster, more powerful, more skilled, and most importantly, angrier than ever. Ryan Garcia isn't looking to outbox Raleigh. He's looking to punish him, to embarrass him, to make a public example out of him. After the way Raleigh tried to clown him, Ryan is stepping into the ring with one mission: knock Romero out and erase the memory of everything that went wrong over the past year. Eubank is, I think, quite arrogant. Just got that face. Then you've got Conor that's very, very emotional, reactive, fired up, you know, like his dad. Like, you've only got to look back at the build-up between their parents in the first fight and second fight. Nigel was like wanted to tear him to pieces. Eubank would walk in nice and calm. And they're their father's sons. They're very similar. So Teofimo Lopez, who will be defending his WBO super lightweight title on the same card against Arnold Barbosa Jr., echoed the growing sentiment in the boxing world. Lopez sees Ryan finishing Raleigh inside the distance, too, predicting a late-round stoppage as Garcia finds his timing and explodes. It's worth noting that Lopez himself has flirted with the idea of fighting Garcia someday. If Ryan demolishes Raleigh the way he's planning to, that dream fight becomes a whole lot more realistic. You and Ben. Yeah. Well, it's bigger than it ever was. It's 3 times bigger than it was before the 2 positive clomiphene tests. Ben's dangerous early in that fight in my view, cause he's coming with all that stinging venom and kind of pent-up aggression that he's developed over the last 2.5 years. But I think Eubank's fought the better level of opponents even though he's aged 2.5 years and he's been knocked out by Liam Smith. I go Eubank on points. What do you go? I go Ben early. Early. I can't I just think from the history I'd love to see them. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson didn't mince words when giving his take on the fight either. Ryan. Raleigh is not that good. Ryan is a better boxer. Stevenson said bluntly, making it clear who he thinks will walk away with their hand raised. Stevenson's prediction was simple. A knockout. And he's not alone. All signs point toward a brutal short night where Garcia uses Romero as a launching pad back into the boxing elite. Let's just get straight in there. It is Fight Me, Fatal Fury, City of the Rules, a Ring magazine event at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It all goes down between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, almost 3 years in the making, but we're here this Saturday night and all the drama will unfold. This fight certainly from the get-go will be all gas, no brakes. But I'm thanking Kashi Jr. to get the job done and get it done inside 6 rounds. And the sole reason I'm doing this is because experience plays a major key. After being forced to sit out an entire year, Ryan Garcia has changed. A lot of the brashness, the wild social media antics, they've been toned down. Speaking to Fight Hub, former champion Timothy Bradley pointed out that Ryan now carries himself differently. More like a businessman. More focused, more serious, more lethal. I think Ryan's going to catch him with that left hook and it's going to be night-night, Bradley said, predicting that signature shot would be the beginning of the end for Raleigh. I think Eubank beats my points. Eubank Ben, what do you think happens? You know what? I'm a little bit torn at the moment, but I'll stick with what I've always said. I think Eubank beats my points, but I won't be surprised if Conor wins. I think Eubank is firmly on the slide now. I know I get stick for saying that. I also think 160 is hurting him now. Starting to mention her a few times. So that's why I bring Conor into a little bit more. But like I said before, that being said, if Conor flattens Chris, I won't be surprised. Ryan Garcia's iconic left hook has always been his money punch. But now with the weight of a year's worth of frustration behind it, it might hit even harder. And against someone like Raleigh who loves to fight reckless, who leaves his chin dangling after every wild swing, it feels inevitable that Garcia will find his moment. One clean shot. That's all it will take. And Garcia knows it. Behind all the words, behind all the predictions, the truth is this. Ryan Garcia doesn't just want to win on May 2nd. He needs to. This fight represents everything. A lot of people say, oh, you know, I rely on my power. I rely on, you know, my flexes and bucking up. Redemption, validation, a chance to wipe the slate clean and charge head first back into the biggest fights in the sport. If he takes care of business, and he plans to do it violently, doors to mega fights against Jiren Bouts, Ennis, Timo Lopez, and even Shakur Stevenson swing wide open. And it's not lost on Garcia that a dominant win could catapult him into the top tier of boxing stardom. Maybe even overtake Canelo Alvarez as America's biggest boxing attraction. We are fighters. You know, I'm 35 years old. You can't, I'm not a kid anymore. You can't be worried or fearful for my safety. If as a man I feel like I can do something, if I can achieve something, you have to be happy with that. Support that, and you know not De La Hoya sees it and Ryan feels it too. Canelo, for all his greatness, has settled into a safer phase of his career fighting less dangerous opponents. Garcia, by contrast, is diving into danger head first. He wants the biggest fights, the brightest lights, the toughest opponents. And if he can deliver the knockout he's chasing against Raleigh, there will be no denying that he's back. Not just as a name, but as a force. Music, hey, hey, hey. Music, Ryan Garcia steps into Times Square ready to add another title to his name. This time in the WBA regular welterweight.